and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. I am here with Professor R Vaidyanathan today, and we are going to talk about the saga of 20 families. These are political families that seem to be holding India to ransom, its future to ransom. Let's go ahead and welcome Professor R Vaidyanathan. Professor RV, namaskaram and welcome to PGurus channel.
To all the audience of PGurus, my sincere wishes, as well as my namaskarams, and belated, of course, Shankranti, Pongal, and Lori wishes also. Let the coming year be a better year, healthy year for all of you, and of course, also a wealthy year. Okay. Now, as the Sri Iyer was mentioning, if you look at the political space in India, it is very, very interesting. One is, of course, the ruling party, which is the BJP. And then we used to have Congress as a larger party. Unfortunately, it has become it has shrunk, and it has become a very, what one can call less consequential. And some people say it is in ICU, and it is between ICU and mortuary. That type of a situation. It's not, for instance, former President Rahul Gandhi, he himself lost in his own backyard
Fortress.
In Uttar Pradesh, and he contested in another constituency in Kerala, which is sort of Mohammedan dominated area, where from he won. So this is only an illustration I am giving in terms of the problems faced by the Congress. It's no more a all India party. But it is also can easily be considered as a family-owned party. For instance, they are planning for election for president, and it has to be either Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi or Priyanka Gandhi. One of the three Gandhis only can be leader of the party. If you look at it very interestingly, there are 20 major families in India, starting with Jammu and Kashmir. Farooq Abdullah and his son, and Mehbooba Mufti, her father and her sister. Father was home minister in India during VP Singh time. And you come down Punjab, for instance, again, the Akali Dal is father, son, and daughter-in-law. Then the side you come to Uttar Pradesh, you find Mulayam Singh Yadav and his son. Bihar, Lalu Yadav and his children. Then Andhra Pradesh, both Telangana as well as in AP, it is either a daughter or a son or son-in-law who are ruling the roost. Then you have Karnataka, we have the Devagowda and his two children. And in the case of Tamil Nadu, M. Karunan, the son, and his son is also now into the fray. So if you look at Maharashtra again, Uddhav Thackeray and his son,
Sharad Pawar.
So Sharad Pawar and his daughter. So if you look at this, I can count something like 20 families who are ruling the roost in different states. And so we can call them G20. It used to be called the group of 20 from group of 7. Now we can call this as F20. F20, which is dominant in India. And all these families you find, they also have facilitated growth of smaller families at the district and taluk levels of their own. For instance, in Tamil Nadu, Trichy district or Dindivanam, different locations, there are other type of families which are accommodated by the larger family at Chennai. Same way in every other state. Primarily, these are either caste-based, all these family-dominated politics, or language-based, or in some cases region-based. Like for instance, Farooq Abdullah always talks about the uniqueness of Kashmir and whatever it means. Now they have formed one Gupkar alliance. Gupkar is a road name actually. It's not something, don't get frightened by it. It's a road in which in a house they met. They are not very sure how to name the alliance. So they thought better to name it on the road basis so that there is no controversy or anything. He and Mehbooba Mufti. That is a regional thing. And Akali Dal, of course, is both religious as well as regional. DMK is, for instance, linguistic. And periodically, these families take up issues whenever they are, obviously, whenever they are out of power, those issues which are what you may loosely call chauvinism, or which whip the passions of the people. Very recently, actually, RAF uh, opened one place in northern Karnataka, and they inaugurated it. They cut the ribbon, and the two plaques were there in Hindi and English. Now this Kumaraswamy, who is the son of this Devagowda, his party is in doldrums actually. He is losing people and he is not winning any poll and other thing. Suddenly he told, this is the greatest insult to Kannadigas. So Kannada plague there. And he whipped up the issue, and he told the Kannada pride has been deeply hurt by the central government. And a couple of others, also joined him, another thing. On the other side, you find suddenly Uddhav Thackeray is telling Belgaum is an occupied territory, as if some Pakistan or somebody has occupied it, and he says we will take steps to retrieve that occupied territory. And this side, obviously, the Kannada groups are telling nothing doing, not even an inch of that territory will be handed over. The point I want to stress is Stalin suddenly told the Post and Telegraph Department conducts an exam, internal, not external, for promotion, another thing which has been conducting for the last, I think 25, 30 years. It is in Hindi and English. Originally, it was only in English, and when the two language formula came, it's a central government thing, and large number of people are within the PNT. Stalin told it should be conducted in Tamil also, because it otherwise it hurt the pride of Tamilians and others. They were in power, Stalin's party, for 10 years at the center. They could have easily done that during that period of time. And it is not easy to do it for the simple reason, if you conduct it in Tamil, you have to conduct it in Odisha, you have to conduct it in Marathi, and you can't just give it one language only. The point I want to stress is, whenever they are in stress, they bring out this lowest common denominator issues to whip up passions. All these 20 families, that's their job. For instance, Maratha reservation, that has become a very big issue. NCP spearheaded it, and it is reaching around 80% now. If you add Maratha reservation also, it will go to court, and so different times, different type of issues are brought up. Basically, these 20 dynasties are today occupying main space in India. Some people will say in BJP also you have Vasundhara Raje and her son, and Piyush Goyal himself is the son of the earlier.
Ved Prakash Goyal.
So like this, but one thing you have to remember, BJP, it might be there in the district level or state level, but not at the controlling the party. Party is controlled by people who are not necessarily dynasty. For instance, you don't hear anything about Advani's children, or Shyam Prasad Mukherjee's children, or any of those. Even communists to a large extent follow the same thing. It's not that Jodhibabu's son is only becoming the leader in that party or anything. TMC, Trinamool, for instance, the nephew has become a very major force. Same thing with Mayawati's party also. So what I want to stress is, at the central level, BJP and communists are not controlled by dynasty. But these 20 and communists now, unfortunately, they have lost all their ground. In Bengal, they are not at all a force. To the extent now they are discussing about aligning with Congress, unimaginable, in order to form a front to fight TMC and BJP. And in Kerala, they are in power, but one doesn't know how long. And Tripura, they have lost their moorings. So they are more into this debate in television channels, and Jawaharlal Nehru University, the tea shop, and of course they are also active in the trade union side and other thing, like this farmers agitation, and that is more of the extreme communist Naxalites, you may call it, or anyhow, be that as it may. So these 20 families are now today deciding. Now, if you look at Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Gujarat, there used to be earlier political parties of socialist orientation. Praja Socialist Party, Samyukta Socialist Party, and other. All those parties were over a period of time absorbed by Congress or BJP. Today, in these three, four states, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, you find only two parties, Congress and BJP. But in the case of these family parties, even though BJP was in alliance, sometime it was in alliance with Shiv Sena, sometime even with the PDP sometime with the it could never think in terms of absorbing them or reducing their importance. This is something very, very important to note. Unlike Praja Socialist Party or Samyukta Socialist Party, these parties are not easily to be taken. They go along for power, but when they are not in power, they come back to their original chauvinism and these, rabble rousing passions and other things. So this is one point. Second, of course, is an interesting thing on which research can be done. The second son is always getting important. For instance, in Karnataka, you find the elder son was a minister, but not the chief minister was the second son. That is what Devgowda chose. Similarly, in Bihar also, the second son is the leader of opposition now of Lalu Prasad Yadav. I do not know why. Tamil Nadu also, the second son is the became deputy chief minister and now aspiring to become, and the elder son is grumbling and he is not happy. So this can be done. A thesis can be done on second son syndrome among these families. Why the second sibling becomes more important. So this 20 families, how to deal with them is a fundamental issue. Will we get any national level political party to counter BJP? BJP is a national level party as of now. It has all got inroads into Karnataka, and slowly Telangana and Andhra Pradesh also it is expanding. One has to wait and see, but anyhow, it's no more can be classified as only the northern Indian states or anything. West Bengal also it has expanded much. Assam, of course, it is already having the power, and so many other northeastern states also it is in. So it's a pan India party. Similarly, will we have a pan India opposition party? That role should have been played by Congress. Unfortunately, Congress is also a family run party, and it is finding it very difficult to hold, and it is slowly getting aligned with extreme forces. I won't be surprised if they align even with OIC. They align with CPM in Bengal, and they are aligning with DMK, and through that to Muslim League, and Kerala also they are. So this type of thing, Congress is struggling hard actually. So is it possible to get a national opposition? Is the major issue facing the country today. Otherwise, these 20 family-run enterprises, what is their objective? Their objective is to make money. Let's be very, very clear about it. All of them are mouthing social democrat type of a thing. That is, the government should provide help to the farmers. Government should give gratis to Muslims. Government should give gratis to Christians. Government should give benefit to the school going children. Every second day you will find somebody like Stalin telling government should give every farmer some 30,000 rupees, and every marriage they should give some Mangal Sutra. It's a sort of a what one can call gifting or like free type of things. All the parties are similar. The what you call Janata Dal secular, or if you take their manifestos or if you take their ideas, there are no much differences, except respective states they will talk about importance of that language or that region or anything. Other than that, economy and other type of ideas are all very similar. They all want to make money, and some of them have made unbelievable. For instance, Karnataka himself was not such rich or something. You can't accuse him of. He always used to claim he has only 50 rupees in his pocket. And somebody went and met him to ask for a donation. He gave that 50 rupees. He told, I am only. But look at his empire. Look at his nephews, grandnephews, and they owned this Sun network thing. all over South India. It is there. They were having airlines business actually, and quite a number of them are into various other businesses like running, this CBSE schools, running hotels, and like almost all the members of his family have immensely benefited because of his political clout. And others, everybody knows about Sharad Pawar's acquisition of wealth and his daughter. And there is a uh, report, obviously not verified by the ministry, which says that his daughter is having 10 acres of land. She made 100 crores and agriculture income, and which is not taxed actually. She can be given the Global Krishi Award, Ratna Award actually. Nobody can make 100 crore out of 10 acres so easily unless you grow some gold or some such lithium or something in that. And similarly, almost all, Devagowda family. And so their objective is to make money. As long as the central government is not objecting to that in terms of making money, they are very comfortable. In order to make money, they have to come to power because they should be in a position to distribute these contracts, these type of government gratis. And so the most popular areas will be PWD, which is one of the major, it's called all-time money type of a department. Nowadays, of course, they say every department has become all-time money, including education. Education is split into higher education, school education, primary education, everywhere. And teacher appointment are made upon bribery. Vice chancellor, the going rate is 2 crore to 20 crore, depending upon the university in most of the southern states. So this is what is their objective. So the families are, one can loosely call them as unlisted private limited companies. They are not listed on the stock exchange as of now. I would love them to be listed actually. NCP, DMK, and this JDS and other thing can be listed on the National Stock Exchange or Bombay Stock Exchange, and prices can be quoted regularly, depending upon, if you forecast that DMK is going to win the coming election, that price will go up because correspondingly, their ability to earn is much higher compared to the other fellows. So I think we have to squarely face this F20 phenomena. And it is required for political scientists to ponder about it. How long this family controlled politics can go on, and which whips up caste feelings or regional feeling or language feeling and other things. Is it possible to at all have a all India opposition party which is based upon election and a proper type of a scrutiny? And this is extremely important. I think we should spend more time thinking about it, or should we leave our entire fate to the hands of the 20 families? The problem with this is these 20 families have huge amount of funds abroad in a lot of illicit locations and other. And I am sure many of the foreign, intelligence agency can have access to the data, not the money. But that is enough to, if they have access to that data, they can blackmail these families to, do whatever they would like them to do. This is something which we should keep in the back of the mind. It's not just, it's a security threat also. If it is a, and the family will buckle because they would be very worried about, being released and other things. So making money is there domestically, they can keep their money or something. That is one dimension. Second dimension is, should we not have an orderly opposition and a ruling party like many of the major countries in the world where there are two parties, where it's not very significantly different in terms of ideas and other thing, but at least there would be a healthy and a strong opposition. And that I think is the, if you ask me, Sardar Patel did a major service by 540 plus Samasthansi merged into Indian dominion with the least amount of violence, except in the case of Hyderabad and one or two other minor places. There was no major violence at all. Imagine those days there was no cell phone, there was no fax facilities. There were only old Remington typewriters which were used to type messages, and there was not much of a what do you call, airlines were there, but not much used. But he, as a home minister, could really achieve this. If you ask me, it's a phenomenally great job. Actually, we should have given enough amount of appreciation to him. Same way, I wish another Patel type of person emerges, either from Congress or from any other party, in order to consolidate the political groupings in India and evolve a national alternative. That I think we should focus, and maybe some discussion should start on this front. Otherwise, F20 will be our major albatross around our neck throughout our next decade even. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thanks a
very
lot.
much, Professor RV, and we'll be back again. Viewers, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and to donate to our channel. We are now around 105,000. We are on a march towards 250,000. We need your help. As always, please see if you can refer us to a friend of yours or a relative, and that way this 105,000 can easily become 210,000 and more. Professor RV, thank you very much, sir, and we'll be back again soon.